Okay, and we are live. Hey everyone, and good evening. I am the Disneyland Geek. Thank you for joining me on this Valentine's Day as I make a return to live streaming, as it seems to be getting more and more popular nowadays. Uh, Glad you could spend your evening with me, whether you're spending it with someone you love or if you're spending it with the friends and family you love, or if you're spending it single, that's okay too. Um, Obviously, you're here because you love Disneyland. So, that can count. It's a day of love, even if it is a Hallmark holiday. So, some of the things I'll be talking in my live stream tonight are about several news pieces from the past week. This will include opening day announcements for Star Wars Land, the world of Pandora from Avatar, the new nighttime spectacular at Disney's Animal Kingdom, and ticket prices, which is what we're going to start with. So it's always expected around this time of year when ticket prices tend to go up. And so for a lot of people, it's like, why Disney? Why? Uh, so yeah, uh, I just need to pull up how much the increases were. So the price increase was for both Disneyland and Walt Disney World, mainly the U.S. theme parks. I'm not sure how they do it for. I'm not sure how they do it for the international theme parks. Whether it's the Disney's responsibility for that, because technically those parks are owned by different companies. Disney merely leases their names to it. But anyway, I'm pulling up the ticket prices right now. So the changes weren't too bad this year. Though they were still like ranging from $10 to $20 increases. So last year was $329 for Disney Southern California Select. Now it's up by $10 to $339. And it gets you a certain amount of days. You still get discounts. It doesn't include parking, but you can add that for an additional $219. And the Southern California prices are now at they were at $459. Now it's $469. Again, it gets you a certain amount of days in the park and the same discounts. The deluxe pass went from $599 to $619. That's $20. And the only passes that weren't changed were the Disney Signature, the Disney Signature Plus, and the Disney Premier Passport, which gets you into Disneyland and Walt Disney World. So there's no change for that. Now for the Deluxe to the Premier Passport, Disney's doing a little promotion right now, where if you renew it, you'll get an extra month added. So instead of 12 months, you get 13 months, which seems like that'd be not a bad deal if you want to renew. One of the rumors that was for this live stream. Well, I don't know why I said live stream that. One of the rumors for the annual passes was that Disney was going to remove the monthly payment option as a way to help control crowds, but apparently they changed their minds at the last minute and they're keeping the monthly payment options. So depending on maybe when Star Wars Land opens, hopefully by then they'll get rid of it. And one of the other things is that there's going to be the new premium fast pass option coming later this year, where like for an extra $10 a day, you can go into the park, use your mobile Disneyland app on your phone, and reserve your fast pass wait time. This is pretty much Disneyland's own version of having you reserve your fast pass times similar to Walt Disney World, because you're playing to two different crowds here. You're playing to a Disneyland park, which is a locals theme park, where Walt Disney World's more of a tourist kind of theme park area resort. So, and they'll be adding fast passes to the fast pass option to Peter Pan's Flight and Matterhorn, which is going to make the lines even more crazy. So, hopefully Disney knows what they're doing. But anyway, that's the ticket price increase for Disneyland. Of course, they also increased their rates for the parking only by $2. So now if you want to park at the happiest place on earth, you better fork over $20. And like I said before, Disney World increased their prices too. Just one more thing before I continue on. I planned after all my discussion thing for the night. If you have any questions relating to Disneyland or Disney World in general, or if you have questions about my channel, be sure to mention it in the live chat, and I will try to get back to you. So anyway, as far as Disney World prices are concerned, and by the way, I'm only talking about annual passes. I'm not talking about this one pass I didn't even know they had. It's It's for the Disney Epcot After 4, where you can enjoy Epcot after 4 p.m. And this includes parking. So it's now $259, which that's an interesting annual pass. I mean, I suppose if you want to go in after 4, enjoy some some drinks in the World Showcase, I guess you could do that. There's also a weekday select pass, which includes all the theme parks and theme park parking, but no visiting on the weekends. So that's at $269. Then the Disney Silver, which gives you 320 days of the theme parks for $419. The Disney Gold, which it's like the Disney Silver, only here you get PhotoPass digital downloads. This is at $559. And then then there's the Disney Platinum, which I think that's for all year long. And there are a bunch of prices here. It's $669 if you're a Florida resident or DVC renewal, or if you're or if you're purchasing it for the first time as a Florida resident or DVC member, that's $679. And then for a renewal rate, $665. And then for just regular new, $779. And then there's the Platinum Pass, which gets you the theme parks and the water parks, as well as the Oak Trail Golf Course, green fees, and as well as the PhotoPass downloads and parking. I'm not going to explain the rest of the prices, but it's $869 if you're new. That's yeah, from the looks of it, Disney World got some of the bigger increases. So now if you want to spend a day at Magic Kingdom, that's like $107. So pretty much those are the prices for the annual passes at Disneyland and Walt Disney World. So it's basically the Disney's trying to manage the crowds as best they can, and you have to consider inflation too. There are many other Disney theme park fan websites that will get bigger into the conversations better than I will, but that's pretty much it. And looking at the live chat right now, Enrique Cortez says, I remember the 80s when parking was $3. Yeah, the 80s were a different time. Well, I wouldn't know. I only was born right at the end of the 80s, so what do I know? So, anyway, on the topic of annual passes, there's also the AP days that have returned at Disneyland Park, which, it's their way of getting the local Southern California people to come to the park. And from everything I've looked online, it looks like it's long wait times for meagerly payoffs. So like when I did last time back in September, I waited like pretty much a little while to get to see what it was, and when you eventually get to the end of the line, they scan your pass and they give you a little AP Days button like this. They also give you recipe cards, special merchandise, and character opportunities with the which I'm not too much against, but I mean, if you're gonna try to get if you're gonna do AP days at Disney Park, I feel like you need to offer more than that. I'm not sure how you would want to do it. Like maybe for certain AP days, like maybe certain nights have it closed off to the public, and have it a special AP night at Disneyland or California Adventure. So, I mean, that could be an option, or maybe some. I mean something. I feel there needs to be something more. That's just my opinion. Anyway, that's how I feel about AP days. I mean, I'm still gonna do it when I'm there next week. By the way, the AP days here are now themed around the Main Street Electrical Parade, which made its return recently into Disneyland Park. And it hasn't been seen at Disneyland Park since the late 90s. And, when I'm there next week, I'm pretty excited to watch it there. I still remember watching it for the first time. I was with a bunch of my family who lives out in Southern California. It was during the farewell season. I even remember this specific area. We were at a certain part of the main hub on Main Street, USA, watching the parade go by, and it was pretty magical. And I still enjoyed it when they played it, when they still had the parade at Disney World too in recent years. But it's going to be certainly magical experience for me to watch it at Disneyland. So, and I plan to film that video here for my channel when I do go, so you can expect to see that up here. Getting back to more other theme park news, Star Wars Land has an opening date, sort of. They actually just announced the year they plan to open. No specific date, but it's expected to open in 2019 at both Disneyland and Disney Hollywood Studios, which pretty much everyone suspected it was going to open that year anyway. So from all the construction progress I've seen in person and on photo blogs online, it looks like construction is going pretty well. If you want a good photo blog for your week, micechat.com does weekly Disneyland photo updates every Monday. So it's definitely worth checking out if you want to keep up with Disneyland stuff. But good news is that a lot of the Rivers of America attractions, riverboat, so a lot of those open again Um, um, looking at the comments right now. Uh, this is going back to annual pass holder things. They've done AP parties in the past aimed at certain holders who didn't utilize them prior. And I remember the Hercules Electrical Parade, actually. I remember watching that on TV. So, yeah, that's fun. So, anyway. Getting back to theme park news. The new nighttime spectacular Rivers of Light, after being pushed back several times before, has now now is set to open February 17th. But they've had some soft openings this past weekend, and apparently supposedly it's everyone's loving it. Pretty much the Rivers of Light is it's a celebration of nature and its connection with animals, and it uses performers, lights, water fountains, and projections, and supposedly it's a really cool show. I'm holding off myself from actually viewing it so that I'm not spoiled, because so yeah, it's wouldn't want to get spoiled. It's one thing I've been trying to do, at least for me anyway. Like, I'm able to make it out to Disneyland and Disney World as often as I can, but I understand for a lot of people it's only like a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I can understand why. I mean, that's why I like posting these videos to share my experiences with everyone else. So anyway, the Rivers of Light is set to open on the 17th, which is this Friday, but they've had several soft openings. So if you're lucky enough to be in the park, be sure to catch it. And while we're on the topic of Animal Kingdom, the World of Pandora has an opening date. It's set to open May 27th of this year. And pretty much, it's pretty much a recreation of the land of Pandora from James Cameron's film Avatar. And this will come with 2 attractions. First is the Avatar Flight of Passage, where you soar, according to their website, you soar on a winged banshee on an exhilarating, wind-in-your-face flight through Pandora. So it's supposed to be a unique experience. Obviously, they're trying to go head-to-head with the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. And then their other attraction is the Navi River Journey, where you go down a sacred river that flows through the bioluminescent forest. So that should be an interesting experience. And one thing I noticed on their blog, on the Disney Parks blog, is that they've set up a special website to help tell you more about the attractions. So I'm going to take a look at that right now and give you sort of a live reaction to it. So here it is. And just a second, I want to make sure. Okay, just want to make sure you can still hear me. So I'm going to see what this is like. Travel to Pandora with the Alpha Centauri Expeditions. So here it tells you a bit more about the land. There's those bunch of floating islands. It tells you about the river adventure, and the flight of passage, and what's over here. So this is very interesting. I don't know if they're going to do more with this, but it appears that's it. yeah, it appears that's it for that website. That was pretty interesting. All right, looking at comments. So Rivers of Light videos gain copyright flags. So makes me wonder what kind of music they use. So pretty much that's pretty much all the Disneyland news for this past week. If you have any questions right about now about anything about Disneyland or Disney World in general, please feel free to ask away, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my knowledge. But like I said, I'm going to be in Disneyland next week for a day because I'm going to be traveling into Los Angeles for a special Hollywood premiere. No, it's not for Beauty and the Beast, although I wish it were. And actually, I lied. That wasn't all of the information I gave you. There was one more that I just learned today. They just announced it today, on the topic of Beauty and the Beast. Disneyland is going to be celebrating the release. Right now they have a live action preview over at California Adventure. Into the Red Rose Tavern. They'll have murals depicting the story of Beauty and the Beast, and they'll have curtains and like each room's going to tell the story, and the menu's going to be transformed in certain ways, and they're even going to have their own version of gray stuff, which should be delicious. And next door to a special little shop that they're going to have merchandise for Beauty and the Beast for both the animated and live action version. So, and Gaston will be appearing in the tavern, so don't be surprised if a dipping sauce that can come in marinara, strawberry, and gray stuff. And of course, the Royal Theater is still performing their Beauty and the Beast, little kind of stage, kind of Renaissance fair type of performance. So be sure to check that out. They don't have a specific opening for when the Village House will be transformed into the Red Rose Tavern. They'll eventually... they do plan on announcing it soon. So that's all the Disneyland news, I swear. So yeah, I think that about does it. So I'm going to try to make the evening chats a regular thing every week. But this is just me getting back into the world of live stream. Since I'll be out of town, I'm going to do my next new episode in a couple of weeks. So we hope you enjoyed this evening chat, and until the next time, see you in the parks.